This is the silliest thing I've ever seen. It's a 5.56 AK Draco.
Takes apart like an AK almost.
Yeah, it does.
But then you need to wiggle it a bit.
When did they make this?
I would have to look it up. It's 90s. Yeah.
90s?
Yeah.
And you think they why did they never make this?
I don't know. I would have to look it up. Really, it's there are only a couple of pictures in the world of this, and yeah, no historian actually ever focused on this gun. So we would have to go through the archives to get the information.
Did it have a name?
Yeah. It's,
you just don't know what it is?
It's a Project Krasa.
What does that mean?
Well, beautiful.
That's the worst possible name for this. This thing is heinous.
Hey everyone, James Reeves, TFBTV, here in the Czech Republic at the CZ factory here at HQ with my buddy Karl. An amazing experience. Again, it's an honor to be here.
You're
Karl,
more than welcome.
Oh, come on. The pleasure's all on this side of the table. We have something quite amazing, actually. A PDW here, the nickname Beautiful. The translation, which is funny.
Which you don't agree with.
To me, yeah. Well, it is what it is. But let's talk about it. What is it?
Right. So there's actually not much information out there about this project. So at the very beginning, it was called Beautiful, and it was a shortcut for the PDV, basically.
What is PDV?
PDV, like
PDW, personal defense weapon. You see, America, yeah. So a PDW, yeah, okay.
PDW, exactly. We call it PDV here. So super compact rifle, which will be able to shoot the intermediate cartridge. So it's not a submachine gun; it's something more than that, but still really compact.
It's a 5.56 caliber, right?
This one is 5.56, yes. But originally it started in the 80s with the caliber 7.62x39, and then went through the evolution up to this particular specimen, which is not called Krasa anymore, but it has name Hrom, which means lightning or thunder.
Yeah, and this is really an amazing, I guess thunder is kind of appropriate because the barrel's super, what length is the barrel? Do we know?
To be honest, I really don't know what's the length. I can only guess, but keep in mind that the barrel continues up to here. So the chamber is above the magazine.
Yeah, like above and behind, and it accomplishes that through, and I've seen this in other gun designs before, where it's actually ripping the cartridge out of the magazine and then slamming it into the chamber from above, which is really kind of a cool concept.
So long stroke piston, and here you have that.
It's like a bullpup. Yeah, where it's pulling the round out of the magazine and then pushing it up.
Yeah, exactly, like with a machine gun. So this fork is pulling the round, and then with pretty complicated bolt face, it's setting it into the chamber like one level up. So this concept was used to keep the gun as small as possible. So we took already existing concept from the machine guns that are pulling the cartridge from the magazine backwards, or basically grabbing it by the bottom and pulling it back, and then it goes up and into the chamber. So that's the heart of this system.
Only one of these exists, right?
There are actually 2 or 3, because it was continuous development. There is another one called More, which is inconveniently in a translation named Plague, which had a different locking system, but everything else from outside is the same.
Right, so let's maybe walk through the features from back to front here. So it's got a folding stock that deploys in kind of an interesting way. So
the folding stock is over here. It can be, if you fold it, it locks into the fore end and can be used in the front as another way of how to grip.
Which is interesting because you see on the stock, it's got like those finger grooves right there.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Which is really kind of cool. That's clever. So that deploys.
The bottom is made out of transparent polymer. Back then it was a new thing. We were talking about the gun from 90s. So transparent polymer, you see that the grip is really close to the shape of CZ75, because that was already working shape, so they just got inspired by that.
And does it use CZ75 grips, you think? That's what it looks like.
Pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah, pretty probably. Yeah, nobody isn't like anyone's going to be able to tell us we're wrong, right?
Yeah,
there's only a couple of these.
Prove you're wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
if you look at the controls, here we have 3-position safety lever with the positions marked 1, 0, and N. We don't really know what the N stands for. It doesn't make sense even in Czech language.
Yeah, I was like, surely you're going to explain what the N is. So
I cannot really.
Is 0 safe or
0
is
should. I can imagine that 0 is safe because you can feel it. When
right,
you're putting
right.
your finger on the trigger, you can feel it. You cannot really get there. So this would be probably the feature that even in a pitch black, you
could be. Yeah, you could find it. Yeah, that's true. And then the magazine release is like a paddle mag release, like HK style. For lack of a better term.
So that's how you take the magazine out, and yeah, as you see, it's being pulled from the back, the cartridge.
Right, so there is no way that you could use an existing magazine because of this design where it's pulling the cartridge backwards before forcing it up.
It's a proprietary magazine, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. And then the sights are actually, like, they're not that bad. They look very rudimentary.
Actually, if you look at some parts of the gun, you can see that it was heavily inspired by the CZ2000 Project Lada. It has its sights. This assembly is very similar to CZ2000 Lada, also the forend. Yeah, it's made from it, so it's coming from the same period.
Yeah, I mean, it almost looks like AK-ish. What's the operating system? It's a long stroke piston, right?
It's a long stroke piston, yes, but the locking mechanism, if we look inside, is more like with the VZ58. Actually, so it's like changing the position down instead of like turning mechanism for the AK. As I mentioned, the model Hrom had the turning mechanism, the turning bolt.
Yeah, a rotary bolt or a rotating bolt. Yeah,
so,
very cool.
So both ways were tested back then. Check the chamber real quick. And here's actually one pin on the top, which I pull, and then I can slide the top cover off, hopefully. There we go. That's the top cover with the rail. Now push the recoil spring forward. Put it away and you can pull the bolt carrier with the bolt out and lift it up. So a long stroke piston. I put it aside and now I can pull that pin a bit more and take the top cover off. Now if we look at the assembly, so the firing pin is super short. If you see, this is the firing position, so it's exposed and the hammer can hit it, but it's so short.
That's what she said.
Yeah. So yeah, this is the position when it's not firing position, and this is the firing position when it's locked. So it's a tilting bolt. It goes down and locks into the receiver. What's also interesting is that pitchfork in here, or just fork, that actually grabs the back of the round by the rim and pulls it back, and then it slides the ammo into the chamber. So a very complex system.
You've got a little bit of Picatinny rail up top, which is actually like, is that a part of this locking thing?
Yeah. You definitely take the dust cover off from the top like this.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, and that was the same thing on the Lada.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Okay, so yeah, that's like the takedown pin for the receiver. Yeah,
it's a takedown also for the forend. So if I take the bolt out with the piston, I can take the forend. There's one pin for both.
That's really cool. And then the charging handle looks interesting. It's like the AK in that it's built into the bolt.
The charging handle is on the left side, and it's being done in a way that with the dust cover it doesn't let any dirt come in. Also the dust cover is all the time covered. So yeah, that's one of the approaches they took back then. Another interesting thing is that here in the front we have a lever which actually works as a switch for the gas port, so you can adjust the size of the gas port. We have a mark here which marks N, and also free on the other side, upside down. No idea why is that. And also another important thing is that this lever works also for this assembly of the forend.
What about the muzzle? Is it a muzzle device? Yeah. What about
there is a muzzle device. There's this very thick, how do you say, funnel. It looks like funnel. Just because we are talking about very short barrels, so there's going to be a lot of muzzle flash going on. So
like a Krinkov kind of.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we needed something to spread the gases as fast as we can. So we eliminate it at least a bit. So that's what was done at the very end of the muzzle.
So this concept is 30, 40 years old, and it never happened.
No.
Do we even know why?
We actually don't know. Probably it wasn't just good enough to go through all the tests, or it was just like back in the days in the 90s, there were different concepts we wanted to pursue, so this one was never proven to be the vital for the company. But what I want to say is that we were never afraid in CZ to take a different approach, to go into experiments, even though when these projects never see the surface of the world, they are never released, we can learn a lot along the way of doing the innovations and expertise on these.
Well, I think this is really cool. And Karl, thank you for showing this to us. I mean, nobody's ever done a video on this or like a piece on it. So it's such a cool thing. And we're also talking about maybe cross promoting it on you've got a Czech channel.
Yeah.
And you're thinking about doing a video on this too. So hopefully if you do, we'll drop a link to that in the description so you guys can check.
Sure, check
it
out.
out. Yeah, right?
So
I know, we're going to use that joke like, 100 times this week. But guys, thanks as usual for watching. Stay tuned because we're bringing you more from CZ headquarters in the Czech Republic. Take care.